सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वम् ओम ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वम् यत्किंच जगत्यां जगत् यत्किंच जगत्यां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथाः तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथाः मा गृधः मा गृधः कस्य स्विद्धनम् मा गृधः कस्य स्विद्धनम्। ओम ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं यत्किंच जगत्यां जगत् ओम ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं यत्किंच जगत्यां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथाः मा गृधः कस्य स्विद्धनम् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथाः मा गृधः कस्य स्विद्धनम्। We'll chant the next mantra. कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषेत् शतं शतगुं समाः जिजीविषेत् शतगुं समाः। एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे न कर्म लिप्यते नरे। कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषेत् शतगुं समाः कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषेत् शतगुं समाः। एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते। Last time we saw this vision, Ishavasyam idam sarvam. This is to be realized that everything is nothing but Ishvara. We have to learn to see the creation as being non-separate from the Ishvara. And then Ishavasyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjithaha. This vision can be protected, can be gained by tyaga, by giving. The problem is when Swamiji talks, we can see, yes, this is Ishavasya. We can see, yes, Ishavasya means Aham Vasyam Sarvamidam. Everything is to be pervaded by the self that is non-dual. But how to own up this vision? How to, in modern jargon, if I say, make it a practical. How to apply this vision in our day-to-day life? How can we apply in our life? Then to answer to this question is second mantra. Another way of looking at it is, from birth, like any other animal, human being is also extrovert. What do you mean by extrovert? In the spiritual or religious fraternity, these words are often used. Extrovertedness, be introvert. And especially the yoga fellows use this a lot. One needs to be introvert. What is extrovert? Involving into the world. That simple involvement is not extrovertedness. That you do some activity in the outside world is not extrovertedness. You do more activity, that is also not extrovertedness. And you don't do anything, that is also not introvertedness. Nothing. Sometimes donkeys also don't do anything. Donkeys also don't do anything. But that doesn't mean that donkey is introvert, Extrovert means what? To look for happiness in the outside world. To do the things, to gain peace of mind, happiness, self-satisfaction, self-contentment from the world outside. That is called extrovertedness. And introvertedness is whether I appreciate or not, but at least I accept and work for discovering the happiness that is myself. That is called introvertedness. Turning around from our pursuit of happiness. And the turn is 180-degree turn. That is called introvertedness. Like any other animal or any living creature, human being is also extrovert. This is the play of Maya in simple words. There are good definitions and we have seen what Maya is. But this is the effect of Maya. Every human baby looks for happiness in the toys and the dolls. Mom doesn't teach the baby. Baby, if it is American, then honey. To be happy, you should have toys. He doesn't tell. Nobody tells. Even before baby could be told, it looks for the toys. There is no cognitive capacities, much less listening capacity. It is only a sound. For a 6-month-old or 3-month-old baby, it's only a sound. You think you are speaking a language. You think you are communicating your emotions. You think you are communicating your happiness. But it is same as to 1 or 2 year old baby. Typical Indian would say, all kinds of noise they make to fondle the baby and make the baby happy. To make the, I don't know who is becoming happy. Baby ne kon ramade je prashna je. Pote rame che ke baby ne ramade che. Sometimes that fellow is playing with the baby, or maybe he wants to play and therefore he is doing. That's a big question or mystery sometimes for me. But anyway, whatever it is, just 3-month-old baby, and grandpa or uncle or dad does all the sound and looks at and shakes the head and all that, and baby smiles. It is not that baby understands. Baby sees a joker, therefore it smiles. It is something amusing for baby, these all faces. So baby is wondering and therefore it just smiles. Not that baby understands what this fellow is saying to the baby. Anyway, they play with the toys. It looks for happiness in the toys. This is also another thing by my universal discovery. Very rare exceptions. Children all over the globe, I have seen in Portugal and Spain and UK and Switzerland and US and Canada and West Indies and Asian continent, Japan and all the countries, they like chocolates. There is a sukham in chocolates. And therefore it wants chocolate. And one another universal sukha sadhanam, means for happiness for adult, is potato. Potato chips, is universally giving joy. Why, I don't know. Anyway, that is Bhagavad Maya. That is extrovertedness. Okay? Child looks for happiness outside itself. Throughout the life, even if the person has some vicarious knowledge, hearsay, if born and brought up in Indian tradition, they know Atma is Satchidananda. They know the self is happiness. But then, still, the whole life is pursuit of happiness in the world outside me, other than me. Shastra says, Isha Vasyam idam sarvam. Fellow thinks Sukha Vasyam idam sarvam, till he or she experiences. He thinks there is happiness all around, and therefore he or she is pursuing, and till the fellow discovers that there is no happiness. That's how the life is. This extrovertedness gives rise to further extrovertedness. More you look outside, more you further go out, and that too with more speed, more velocity, not only speed, more demand. There is a vakya in Sanskrit, Kurvate karma bhogaya. Fellow does karma for bhoga, for happiness, to gain something out of the external world. Now you got the pleasure, enjoy it. Kurvate karma bhogaya karma kartum cha bhujyate. While he or she is experiencing, the very experience of happiness becomes the seed for further pursuit of happiness. And it is not one seed, it is multiple seeds. Every experience of happiness is almost like a multiple seeds of happiness, which gives rise to another pursuits. That's how the life is. And unless and until one discovers that I am the source of happiness, there is no fulfillment. There is no contentment. The life is not fulfilled. The purpose of human birth is not attained. What is the way out? How can I escape this cycle of birth and death? How can I escape this repetitive experiences of unhappiness? All the time I feel unhappy. And the answer is, as we know, discover yourself to be happiness. Discover yourself to be Ananda. That's the only way to get out of it. Now, like any other knowledge, self-knowledge has a prerequisite. One need to have proper qualifications to gain the mind. Like when you say, how to own up this knowledge in my day-to-day life. Otherwise, it's like people telling me, quite a few come to me and they have a long face. And I say, what's the problem? A lot of worry, a lot of tension. I said, what is it? I know, Swamiji, I should not worry, but then why but? I know I should not worry. If you know, where is a but? Similarly, there are some fellows who say, Swamiji, your class was excellent. And if it is south of India, excellent. They make this sound. Your class was excellent. I am Anand, so clear. I have thoroughly understood. Your presentation was so logical and lucid. It was so simple, like just swallowing this halwa, shira. Just clear. But why batti? That means that necessary qualifications are missing. To own up the knowledge also you require that. And to gain the knowledge also you require that qualification. But the question comes, who can gain the knowledge? The answer is the one who does Guru Seva, who is a Guru Shraddha. One may gain a Guru, no Shraddha. One may gain a Guru, no Seva. Tadviddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya shraddhavan labate jnana. So all this is necessary. But you can have Shraddha or one can have Seva if I have Guru. To gain the knowledge, you need a Guru. To gain, and not only Guru, but one should have proper attitude towards the teachings, towards the person who teaches, and towards the Shastra. And willingness to serve, commitment to serve, that should be there. But to gain that Guru, and if at all I gain him by stroke of destiny, I will use this word like a stroke, some punya karma, you can't come across the right person. No commitment to study, no focused efforts to study, because there is no nishchayatmika bhakti. The decision is the goal, of the clarity about the goal is missing. What I want is missing. The desire for moksha cannot be one of the 100 desires. It is the desire. It should not be the one of the things that I want to do, but it should be the thing to do. If I am free, then I attend classes, Swami. Then it is also not possible to gain moksha. That means mumukshutvam or jignasa, the seeker, is missing. When one has clarity about the goal, one has priority about the goal, this is the priority. Everything else is subservient. Nothing is a goal. Like even typical successful businessman, making money is the goal. Everything else is subservient. He may throw a party on the birthday of a son, but he is not interested in son's birthday. He is interested in developing contact, doing his PR work. He may give a gift. It is not that because he loves that fellow and therefore gives a gift. Because he is interested. Unlike giving donations to presidential candidate. They know this fellow, if he get elected, we can get a signature on this contract. We can ask him to change the policy. That's the bottom line. So priorities should be clear. That priority, if it is missing, even if by destiny, by punya karma, one may gain guru, one may not gain knowledge. Now I'm just sharing you. Forget about gaining guru. You listen classes once or twice a week. But I have seen people, they have moved to ashram to study for 3 years. They have committed. So much of commitment. They have burned their all boats, family ties, business, money, and come to ashram. And that too not because they had no job, not that they are unemployment pension and they came to ashram. It's not the case. They just came successful and went, I want to study. But down the line somewhere, they swerved the path. They took some detour. And after 3 years of study, they again get into business or again get into some relationship and get married and get into some sadhana. Focus. Single pointedness to the pursuit is necessary. The clarity comes when there is a vairagya. Vairagya means not just giving up the things. Vairagya primarily means just be objective. No subjectivity, no additional values. And Vairagya comes because there is a Viveka. Viveka comes when mind is pure. It is called Antahkarana Shuddhi. Antahkarana Shuddhi means no insistences. Vairagya somewhere, Bhagavad Pad Shankaracharya ji defines Adhrada Raga Dvesha Vatvam Vairagya. Not to have strong likes and dislikes. It must be this way. It should never be this way. All these insistences shows lack of vairagya. One should have value for dharma. Nothing wrong in it. One should have a strong value for oneself. I must behave like this. I must conduct this way. I should not cross these boundaries for myself. But that self-discipline, self-maryada, or if I use the modern word, self-perfection, you cannot extend to the world. You cannot expect others to be perfect. You cannot expect others to be in those boundaries. You have to be ready for failures. You have to be ready for their mistakes. Give them space to commit an error. Give them space to not to do what you like. Give them space to do what you don't like. It's necessary. Otherwise, the fellow gets hurt all the time. Want everything in order. The person lives a life of dharma, righteousness, and goes out to see that world should walk on the righteous path and picks up another's problem. There are going to be something injustice here and there. People may have their own problems. No, like they try to become Raja Vikram, Pardukha Banjan. Vikram Raja has a title to say the savior. Or let's say modern Jesus, the savior. they try to become the savior. I want to help this person. The injustice is meted out, and I jump into it. No insistence. And sometimes towards yourself also. Never be so harsh to yourself. It's okay. I give space to myself to make a mistake if at all I make. If not being there, heart is always full of guilts, always full of complaints and hurt. The person overwhelmed by hurts and guilts is the samsari. The definition of a samsari means the person has lots of hurt by others. Omissions and commissions. Others' commissions hurts him. Self-commissions gives him guilt. Self-omissions gives him guilt. Others' omissions also gives him hurt. I do so much for that fellow and he doesn't do this much for me. I have so much, I take care of each and everything for that person. But they don't take care of me. This is a samsari. Ragadveshas, Swami Dayanji used to say very beautifully about relationship. To the extent you allow people to be what they are, to that extent you are free. And unless and until one enjoys, one owns up this relative freedom, you cannot own up the total freedom. You may get a glimpse of it because of some values, life of values and pure mind and some sharp intellect. You make a glimpse of it and you enjoy it, but can't hold on to the vision. That again gets into the strong likes and dislikes are called paripanthino. Indriyasya ardhe ragadvesho vyavasthitau tayorna vashamagacche tauhi asya paripanthino. They are the looters. The wayside looters. Traveling, they loot you. The wisdom, the contentment, the introvertedness, the self-joy is looted just like that because of strong likes and dislikes. In a psychological term, you can say because of heavy unconscious. One needs to process it. One needs to accept the factual world. You can't live in your own fantasy. You can't live in your own ideal world. You have to have space. It should be like Indian traffic, space for people to do and park wherever they want to and travel on the wrong side also. Not so disciplined. This fellow married an American citizen girl. And then obviously the rights, he also got the citizenship and then went to US. Now here we drive on the left side. That US they drive on the right side. This fellow went there and he had a license, so for 6 months you can drive. He drove and then went to work. He had some trial and then his wife gave him a car and then went to work. And she returned and they switched on and there was news flash. On Highway 1, there is one crazy guy coming on the wrong side. Then she called him, hey, be careful, this is your first day, one crazy fellow is coming on the wrong side. Well, what one fellow? Pura desh, whole country is crazy. Everybody is on the wrong side. Pura desh pagal hai, sab ulta chala hai. But this incredible India, you can find somebody on the wrong side also. So what makes a family is I have a space for wrong side driver. Anyway, unless one has that relative freedom, one cannot own up the absolute freedom. And to gain that relative freedom, karma is a means. Not karma per se, karma yoga is a means. So second topic of the Shastra. The first topic is Brahma Vidya, self-knowledge. That was told. You know, in the end of the Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavad Gita, end of every chapter we chant, Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastra. That Yoga Shastra is. You see, the introverted mind means you enjoy solitude. You enjoy being yourself. You can relax in your own lap. If the pure mind is not there, left alone, mind is brooding about all the hurts and the guilts. Nothing comes. The person keeps on reenacting all those situations and wants to, they speaks all the dialogues, all the situation in anger. And they give therapy also. They punch the back if you're so angry. This fellow had some problem in his marital life and had some psychologist telling that you can punch the back, thinking it's your wife. You know, so someday she went to her parents' place, make a peer actually. And every married couple's life, some days of happiness also comes. And she went for it. Sukhna દિવસો બધાને આવે એટલે એને આવ્યા કે પેલી 10 દિવસ માટે ગઈ. And now then, yes, the psychotherapist had told that you can punch, but then he thought he was a professional, so intelligent guys. So he said, let me improvise that. So he had a big picture of hers, huge picture, 4x6. He got a big picture and stuck it on the wall and took those spinning arrows and was hitting her. Trying to, this is because of the hurt, that is extrovertedness I'm talking. What is introvertedness? That you don't need that picture and do anything. And when he was trying to hit, and when you are a professional, like management guys, or you are a IT fellow, any professional. Professional means you can't meet all your targets. That's a definition of a professional. If you're an artist, because every time company puts one step further, so you have to work so hard to reach the target. You have to focus. So this fellow was focusing on the target. And obviously, being a professional, missed the target. And suddenly she called me, honey, what are you doing? He says, I am missing you. Honey, I am missing you. She felt so happy, and he also felt happy. This is called first step of moksha. Both are happy. And when both are unhappy, that is the first step of samsara. Anyway, coming back to this, that second subject matter, that karma yoga is to give you a pure mind, which can relax with oneself, which can enjoy one's own company. That's it, mind. And that teaching is given in the second mantra. Okay, let's look at the first mantra, and then I'll explain the words of the mantra. कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि again कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषेत् शतगुं समाः जिजीविषेत् शतगुं समाः एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे न कर्म लिप्यते नरे कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषेत् शतगुं समाः कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषेत् शतगुं समाः एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे न कर्म लिप्यते नरे. Can you get the video properly, or should I change my internet connection?
It's good, Swamiji.
Good enough? Okay.
Yes.
Now it says, Kurvan eva, while doing karmani, while doing karmas, indeed, Kurvan neva iha, in this life, jijivishet shatam samaha. One should desire, one should aspire to live 100 years. Shatam samaha. Shatam means 100, years means samaha. One may desire to live in 100 years. How? While or by doing karma indeed. Okay? Live here. One may wish to live 100 years. But how should you live? Living should be accompanied by life of activity, life of action. Kurvan neva, evakara is their insistence. Indeed should be like that. Okay? And then it says, evam tvayi. Tvayi means for that person, for this person, you. Evam twice, such as you, who wants to live 100 years, and he who is living, performing actions only. Na anyathetosthi, there is no other way than this. And then na karma lipyate nare, whereby karmas don't bind you, don't cling to you. In other words, in order to escape, in order to be relieved from the clinging of the karmas or karma phalas, both, the only way is this. It has been put in this way, other way around, For such person, such as you who wants to live 100 years by and who is doing karmas, there is no other way than this, so that karmas don't cling. The two negatives. No other way than this, and so that karmas don't cling. In other words, to avoid the clinging of the karmas, bondage of the karmas, this is the only way. What? You must do action, perform karmas, act karmas, and iha, in this life, that is the only way. Then you may aspire for 100 years. Because one thing is also there is a jijivisha. It's a universal. No one wants to die. Given a choice, no one wants to die. Each one wants to exist physically or in the memory lanes, in the books of history. So, how should I live? Since I have a natural desire to live, what is right living? This is Kurvan Neveha Karma. Now, two things here. Kuruvan eva, that's fine. We'll explain why it is said so and what does it mean, which karmas and how, that we will explain. Iha karma. Iha means manushya lok. And you are born as a human being. You must commit yourself to action, to karmas. That second part, must commit to karmas. What does it mean? I will explain a little later. But why to Manushya Lok? Why only to human beings? In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan makes an observation. Twice he mentions, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma. Even for a moment, no living being can remain without doing something. He also, either voluntary or involuntary activities goes on. You think the person is sitting idle, but mind is wandering. And even when you are sleeping, you can say, no, my mind is not wandering, I was sleeping. But involuntary goes on. Digestion, circulation, everything goes on. Breathing, etc. is there permanently going on. In fact, the death is cessation of all activity. Whom we call dead, the person is dead only when there is no activity. So it is natural to act. Why it is said to human being only? Iha manushya loke means manushya janmani. When you are born as a human being, you must do karmas. That means there is something more about karma. It's not simple action, any action you do, and something more about human birth. See, we are in a way special. As per the Shastra, we say 84 lakhs of yonis. 84 lakhs types of births are there. And among them, this is the best. Why? We have special powers. We have 3 powers in abundance. All threefold Shakti. The threefold Shakti, which are there? Jnana Shakti, desire, capacity to know, Ichha Shakti, capacity to desire, Kriya Shakti, capacity to act. You may say, Swamiji, even a dog has that. Even a mosquito has Jnana Shakti. It knows where to sit on your body. Generally, it doesn't sit on the front side. He has a Gnana Shakti. And he has a Ichha Shakti also. Because sometimes I often find mosquito selects a right person. They don't go to everybody, they select the right person. And you see, what a creation. Think of Bhagavad Shakti. Bhagavan is so sarvagna. This I hear more after the corona. When they are admitted and they have to be injected daily, 2-3 injections and 7-8 tablets and all things are there. And then that nurse finds it very difficult to catch the vein. It is so clear here. It's a vein, but difficult. They rub it and pressure it and then finally get it. Mosquito puts its needle anywhere and can suck the blood. What a Bhagavad Shakti, what an intelligence Bhagavan has put in mosquito. It doesn't have to come here only, or not catch this way or that way. It can take from feet or the thigh muscle or calf muscle or your back or your elbow, anywhere. You expose it, And within a second, this nurse might have taken blood or injected some 100,000 people. You are 100,001, but still chances. Swamiji, you are aged, so it's difficult to get. What idiot, this mosquito gets me every day. So that Kriya Shakti is much more than you and I. Mosquito has a power. What do you think? The difference is two main. That their Gnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti is confined to Rakshana Poshana. For survival only, nothing more. To feed and protect themselves. They don't have any other agenda in the life. They all watch and look, they look for only food. They only look for some source of insecurity. Moment they want to know where I do find security and where I am insecure. That's all. The Ichha response, fight or flight, as they say, is also for survival, nothing else. And Kriya also is for survival. But human being has this in abundance, limitless. You have freedom. Even when the survival is assured in terms of economic stability, in terms of resources, in terms of home, and so comfortable survival is assured. But still, they push you. Why? It is because buddhi. We have very well developed buddhi. And because of that buddhi, there is ahankara. And that ahankara is a one who is always dissatisfied with oneself. It always wants something more. It always feels a sense of incompleteness, sense of dissatisfaction. That ahankara is a one who has a sense of doership, sense of enjoyership, kartrutva, bhoktrutva. And when you have one has kartrutva, bhoktrutvam, sense of doership, to that person is told, you must work. Because 2-3 reasons. Primary reason is for antakarana shuddhi. But then, how to gain? Otherwise, also in the 3rd chapter, Bhagavan says, Sharira yatra pichate na prasiddhed akarmana. If you don't act, you cannot survive. When we don't commit to activity, means Rajoguna, you don't commit, there are all chances that tamas person may become lazy, slothful. Ahankara, doership is there. So, animal birth is called bhoga yoni. They have to just exhaust their karma. They do karmas for shaririyatra, for survival. They don't give rise to new karma phala. A carnivorous animal, lion, tiger, etc., killing animals, they don't incur papa. And cow, etc., benign herbivorous animals, give milk and support humanity. Though they don't incur much punya also. They just go through their prarabdha. Manushya loka is a special behavior. Why we should do karma? As I told you, if I don't commit to karma, committing to karma means committing to Rajoguna. then if I don't commit to that, it's natural to slip to tamas, sluggishness, inertia, slothfulness. All these things come in the person. And such a person cannot live the life. Shariri yatra vichete na prasiddheda karmana. It's necessary that one must have some enthusiasm. It's just even date, forget about moksha. One should be very enthusiastic and bubbly fellow, cheerful person. There should be some freshness in the personality. Some people walk like this, you feel, what is this walking? Some trunk of a tree is coming or what? And then you tell them you be here at this time, I am coming and I am doing, I'm hanging. Just absolutely loose. You see, committing to time, discipline in time also helps you to be alert, to make you fresh, to make you enthusiastic. One should be, there is a utsahajanaki in a jivan maho. Not nairashyam. If not nairashyam, looseness should not be there. That when you discipline in doing, the mind gets disciplined. Your thinking becomes disciplined. You become a serious person. Hoti hai, chalti hai, not like a typical government employee. It doesn't work in the life. In that, even for knowledge, Bhagavan says, Shraddhavan labate gnanam tatparaha sanyatende. Tatparta should be there. Even Bhagavan himself, he says, Name parthasti kartavyam trishlokeshu kinchana nanavaptam avaptavyam. I have nothing to do in these three worlds. I have nothing to gain or lose. But varta eva cha karmani. I always commit myself to action. Our life, Bhagavan has given us human birth to fulfill some purpose. You cannot just violate away the time, the resource of time, wealth of time, which is unquantifiable value. It's so valuable that you cannot quantify it. And that's why we have to commit to doing. Now, what karma? Otherwise, also I will do, okay, I keep doing something otherwise, something or other. I remember in the flight, I always prefer a window seat, just to avoid people touching. And in the middle seat, one fellow came who was Indian XL size, typical youngster, Indian XL size, and with those days headphones, in the not AirPods but headphones here, and then listening the music, and started. And then slowly all those muscles started loosening, body. And I was sitting, but he started pushing like this and that, and I moved further. And after some time, the hostess came. Nowadays, they don't give anything because of Corona. She came with some snacks and all that. So you want, then he removed. And then he looked at me. I was just sitting like this in a corner to avoid his vibes. So, and the fellow was stinking with perspiration and all that. I was avoiding him. So he looked at me. Everything okay? I said, from my side, yes. That is not the karma we are talking. Something you do. Listen, karma means kartavya karma. In Shastra, whenever it is mentioned or ordained by the Lord, Kuru Karmatvam, you must do, you must act, or that Karmanneva adhikaraste. That karma word implies kartavya, not simply any action. Not to do what is to be done, I must commit to what is to be done. And what is to be done is twofold. And second is, why should I do? That discussion will take up tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.